Alright, I think we are live. Well, can't see my screen, but yeah, it works. Let's see. Is that working? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Alright, that's working fine. So, well, hello friends. So today, what are we gonna do is that we are gonna write a kernel driver for Quadcast 2. My friend actually wanted to do a script about this maybe soundcast to backmon tempos. Oh my god, Mama is calling me. Alright, so there was a script that my friend actually sent me, so well, let me see it first. Alright. Let me check on Discord. There was a PowerShell script in Windows that it does the backlight stuff, but since there is no driver in Linux, we can't do that. I wrote a testing script, but since we don't have a driver, right. So it has the Quadcast 2 set brightness at PS, but it uses the same stuff as the USB driver, but we don't have a driver. So what I did, I already wrote some test files. Also, I went to the this Quadcast RGB port. Quadcast RGB software. It works with Quadcast 1 and S, but it does not work with that. I tried to make a port, but I just realized that there is no available driver for Linux. So there's my test files. It has some new. Oh, in a minute, somebody's on my server. Oh my god. Alright. So I added some bindings for the addresses of USB device. So in here, let's open. Yeah, it also has some new Quadcast 2 support, the brightness option for that. But it's sending packages, I think so, but the packages does not respond that. How we could verify this as if you open here, this is the response from my friend. I don't have the actual hardware. This also somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me now. Alright. So there is some. So let's see it. Let's see it first. So we have the Quadcast 2 controller. So we have the device descriptor files. So the report descriptors are unavailable, which I don't know why. But according to ChatGPT, which I'm using, yes, I'm just using it because I don't want to read this 400 pages of Linux kernel driver. I don't want to deal with that. My time has values. I'm already writing a compiler. I have some other projects, so I'm gonna be use ChatGPT because I think that writing and tools that supports what we are doing is okay because it affects our um, affects our job, what we do in the same time. It's not about just copy and pasting, but learning. So, what is our plan today? Is that let's go in here. I wrote, so I just said, so since we don't have the device, we need an emulator in the user space, a daemon that acts like our device, which is in here the Quadcast 2 daemon, which that is not working. I created also a daemon, also a dummy USB device. So we have QC2 emulator and some stuff which I worked in it. This is another response from the kernel driver, but we don't really need that for now. We only gonna need to build first a daemon in user space. After that, we gotta set up the virtual machine and write a kernel driver. So, research and device understanding. Goal. How the Soundcast 2 behaves at the USB protocol level. So, what do we have in here? Alright, it's great. User space. So, let's go into our file first. So I'm just gonna open my terminal here and src. So we're just gonna clone our repo first. Let's go into my account and the Linux driver in here. So we gotta git clone this. Also, yeah, Quadcast emulation. No, not this one. CD Quadcast 2 Linux driver. Right, we have. So being readme.md or being roadmap.md. So we are just alright, maybe just development plan. Alright, testing and debugging. Yeah, there you go. Oh, we have a final overview for that. So we're just gonna copy and paste this, the Beam roadmap and readme.md. So I'm gonna write myself is that Quadcast 2 Linux driver and Quadcast 2 backlight driver with emulation user space for testing. And alright, so pretty, yeah, this will be enough for now. Get all git comment initial comments roadmap and readme.md git push origin. Right, should send it right now. There you go. We have main and let's go to roadmap. Maybe we could just cat roadmap.md and let's just copy this and let's go to vim, or let's go to editor to readme. And so roadmap phase 1, yeah, it's okay, and done. Yes. We could do something like this, I think so. Alright. Let's edit readme. We have ChatGPT again. Yes, I guess. Yes, guys, we are fucking using ChatGPT. Alright, let's edit readme. We have ChatGPT again. Yes, I guess. Yes, guys, we are fucking using ChatGPT. The project layout is suggested. Yeah, alright. We gotta add the project layout. The emulator, readme, emulator.py, protocol, and test client. And we also have kernel, drivers, miscellaneous. Yeah, I see. So we just gotta first add a project layout. And user space emulator. Right. So it works fine. Yes, it's okay. Done. Yes. Collect the USB and kernel logs from real Sandcast 2. Project structure. We have emulator, readme, and emulator.py. Test client. We have kernel, drivers, a make file. Right. So kernel tree snippets. Alright, we're just gonna delete this and readme. Space emulator daemon. Yeah, that works fine, I think so. Let's put this into here and readme emulator.py. So we also don't need, just gonna need the driver. And delete this stuff and fqc2.c. Maybe. I don't really know what could be the name, but I did it. The qc2 emulator.py, qc2 emulator.py. Also, we also have the Quadcast. So test qc2.c. So test qc2.c, test file for sending packages to real hardware. To qc2. Right. Fix this. F Quadcast 2. fqc2.c. Fix this. Ah, now it's better. It's looking sucks because gotta code the code and it works, man. So update roadmap, move roadmap to main region, add project structure section, comment to changes. Alright, that's good. So we could just delete the roadmap. Yeah, we could just most to empty. Just comment to changes. That's alright. So we could just go in here and get cool. So collect the USB and kernel logs from real Soundcast 2. So Vim or mousepad or just code OSS here. Alright. Phases phase1.txt or just markdown. Where is our kernel source, dhid info, txt file easily. Phase 1. Where's that? Collect sendcast. Alright. So we already have this stuff. Analyze. Working PowerShell script for real sandcast 2 and Windows. So we're just gonna go on here. Where's that? Yeah, there it is. Let's copy. From. Alright. Looks good. So there we go. Yeah. Backlight brightness mechanism. Somebody just fucking texted me with the score. Alright. That's looking good. Let me send my. Somebody's here? No, nobody's watching me. That's great. Let's go into my account. Oh, we forgot to change the stream thumbnail. That's great. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, I'm gonna supposed to do that. Alright. Linux, kernel driver, writing, Linux, kernel driver, Linux stuff. C. Just fucking C, yeah. Alright. How I'm gonna supposed to change the fucking thumbnail? Yeah, just don't do that. I just wanna change it. I just wanna change it. Right. Fuck. Backlinkia.com. Thumbnail. Yeah. I don't know. Screenshots. Do we have screensaver? No, not this one. Screensaver Xlow. What do we have? Alright, what was Linux screensaver? Screenshot app. Flameshot. There you go. Let's install sudo xops install Flameshot. Alright. Flameshot. It's not fucking working. Flameshot usage. Alright. I'm gonna supposed to use it. The GUI. Alright. Flameshot GUI. Alright, that works. That should be for us. Now, let's go in here, not here, but here. let me just open Chat UI. Gotta be fucking kidding. Okay, there you go. Oh. That's good. Alright. So save it into the pictures and works fine. Well, let's go in here and let's found it in pictures. We should have the PNG now. I'm gonna put top off. Kernel driver 4. Somebody's here? No, it's alright. Quadcast 2. But alright, I'm not gonna tell this. Do we have any decorate? Let's go to background. Nope. 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 Alright. So let's get a Linux. Linux driver. No. Alright, I'm just gonna put Linux .png. Smart object must be rasterized at first. That's great. Oh, we could remove BG in here. Yeah, we did it. Alright. Let's open transform controls. Yeah. It's alright, I think so. Coding screen 4. Gotta be fucking kidding. Alright, that looks better right now. I'm just gonna put a little bit of and paint bucket tool and list it. No. I guess we gotta change the colors into the white. Maybe. Okay, and doing that okay again. I was just doing this stuff. Let's go in here. I just do something like this. It works. Alright, save as PSD and export as PNG. Alright, now we can set it up. Can't believe I forgot this. Alright, that would be no problem for that. And it fucking works. That's great. I'm always forgetting this. Alright. I'm gonna send all of my streams into my friends so they can watch this. Right. Let's send to everybody. So they could watch us. Well, that's great. Yeah, I'm just gonna send it to you as well. Alright. How are you doing? What are you doing? Oh. I'm writing kernel, as you can read the title. It's a Linux kernel driver for the Soundcast 2 device. Let me search for you. So for this device, we are writing a backlight driver for Linux. my friend wanted to write a simple script for that, but I just saw that there is no driver, so we are gonna write our own driver. Yeah, if you're here, if you're watching this, yeah. So let me just send this to you in here, so everybody could read it from there. If you're done with that stuff, you could just close it. And let's go back into here. So, alright, HRT reports 132.1 report descriptors unavailable. The windows exactly have break. Alright. Byte for encodes. Then second report save the changes. Likely a comment. To report 0 equals these. Next, the emulator design. Alright, we could just go into there. For now, I'm just opening back my Anavy code OSS. Not this one, but why it all looks same. Alright, the phase one. Alright, the analysis. Alright, we brought it. Meaning, I'm just gonna fucking close this. I'm not gonna fucking close this. Face. Free. Meaning. Let's close the meaning. Let's build backlight mechanism. And I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna copy this. Why not? First buffer sends the brightness level. Shell likely a comet, so yeah, that will be work. Fine. What this means for Linux. Right, I think that's good. Let's open a terminal here. Get add all. Get status. Alright. Get comment out. Feed documentation. Add phase 1.md for documenting. Collect USB logs for just get touch origin. Is there somebody's here now? That's great. So let's see. Did I upload it? Yes. Let's go back again. Phrases and phrase 1. So it works. So we set up the whole report in here. And yeah, we actually saw what are we gonna do now. So let's go back in here. The emulator design. The plan. Listen on the Unix socket for TCP port. Accept feature report packets for the first. Lock them in the hex and emulate responses. The setting brightness. Finger comet. Print resulting. Alright, it seems like it's just this. Don't know why. So, but we already have some emulations for the QC2 emulator. So what it does, that it actually it has the device identifiers. I think so. So how about this? How about writing a real user space daemon for testing mock hardware first, cause our test QC file, because as you might see, it sends real signals. Right, that's good. I gotta be back after peeing. Alright. I gotta be back and just open this. If the man's peeing. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Alright, I got back after peeing and getting some tea and stuff. Yeah, that's great. So let's get back in work. So nice, good thinking about. You don't have hardware in your VM. The fastest, safest way to get repeatable tests on emulator mode and test tool to provide a real user space emulator that accepts the same. Alright. A small Python emulator that listens for some reason the protocol available updated support emulator mode. Alright, so we're just gonna fucking use the emulator, I think so. So let's get back in here and let's go to src emulator and qc2 emulator.py. Close it. Maybe get a little bit more. Alright. So host and we don't serve. Alright. No dummy HTTP required for TCP mode. C test program with emulator support. We're supposed to use it. The emulator, alright. Needs to be no root needed. There's some test module, so we're just gonna use it and test. What was the file name for that? Test qc2. Test qc2.c. Well, we can't use the C emulator, I think so, but how about using Kate? Can we use it for now? Let's see. Go to SRC. Linux driver, let's open it. It could actually work in here, I think so. Yeah, it could work in here as well. Fuck Microsoft. So build an emulator mod. Right. So which terminal we have in here? We could just close this. Just close this. Here. That's great. So emulator. Free. SRC. Free. Listening. Let's open another one. To real device. We're not going to use this. Test. CD test. We have to rename. Tests. You gotta be fucking kidding, Kate, get out! It's not fucking refreshing itself. That's the same thing that last time it did. Right, so we have some tests here. Sending emulator done. Alright, we got some stuff in here. So our emulator is working fine. And some people are actually watching us, that's great. Our emulator is working fine. So commit detected, brightness 50 saved, and device memory. So it works, but when we're gonna try to do that text QC2, and we can't do it. Yeah, it actually found the Quadcast free because we got what was that let's go in here. We actually set up a dummy USB, a virtual USB device for mocking, but since we don't have any drivers or any functionality for that, it does not work fine. Where is that? We set it up, set up gadget in here, as you might see. So we could just see it, the LS USB. Right. Let's paste it, and as you might see, we already have a virtual device for that. But now, first, we're gonna first do it in our Python emulator, so it works fine. Let's go back in here. So the emulator, let's go back in ChatGPT. So it seems like our emulator is working fine. I'm just gonna copy this and go to our documentation section here and paste 2.md. We're just gonna outputs emulator. Alright. Bash. Our emulator is working fine. So we're just gonna do something like this, and after that I will document it. It seems like our emulator is working fine. So what are we gonna do now is that probably create a virtual machine first. It's working fine. So let's go back and readme and done. Yes. set up Arch Linux VM for development. We already downloaded the Arch Linux ISO in here, so we're just gonna use it. Alright, next phase is VM and a kernel driver. That's great! Now we are fucked up. It will take a lot. Check src emulator qc to emulator.py file src tests test qc2.c file. Phase 2. What was our queue? Was go back on here. No, not this one. Let's go back on. Oh, I already have this in here. Phase 2, the documentation. Oh, we're in the phase. Blah 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 blah. Alright. Have overview. Alright. We already have the file structure. File structure. Emulator behavior. Emulator behavior. Just delete this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we could just set a list for that. Why? There is no multi-cursor support. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking. Oh. Alright. Example run, emulator output, test tool output, summary goal. Alright, just do this. Yeah, that's great. Next steps. Phase 2. I'm just gonna comment everything from here. The QC2 emulator. Feed. Phase 2. Emulator. Just something like this. Feed. Emulator QC QC2 emulator and feed testing test QC2.c file. Feed documentation at what? I don't have to do it quick setting up. No, I just do it. Let's push. Yo, what's up? It's me. Hello. How's it going? So we are writing a fucking Linux kernel for Quadcast 2, which is a microphone. So we are writing a backlight driver in Linux. We are now gonna be open the word manager and create a new virtual machine for an Arch Linux. So the local install media, yes. No media selected. We're just gonna add gotta be fucking kidding. The images. Oh, alright. Gonna just add from here the target pad. Yeah, let's open it. Here we have some. Where is the Arch Linux? Yeah, there you go. The choose volume. Arch Linux. Let's forward. And we need how many memory do I have each top? I have a lot. So I'm just gonna add 300 2 CPUs. Let's go forward and virtual machine. Alright, just create it. Well, a lot of people actually started watching us, which that's great. Unfortunately, my UI is actually just Turkish, which I'm Turkish. Well, I had this at the same time, but yeah. So, we're just gonna install it. The Arch Linux. Now. Why Arch Linux? I don't really know. It just works, I think so. I don't use Arch Linux, I don't like it, because it's systemd. I'm using Void Linux. But a lot of people use Arch and systemd, so yeah. If I didn't forget, oh, we also have Arch install. Yeah, just use it. Checking version available, the locale mirrors, repositories, select region. Do I have to do it? Let's go Turkey and Germany. Germany. Select regions. Yeah, alright. How am I supposed to go back? I want to go back. Yeah, alright. So this configuration, I think they changed it a little bit. The best effort default partition layout, yes. But then select it. Fuck. Oh. What about that? But that's great. So we don't have any spot. Arch Linux, bootloader, grub, hostname, authentication, the profile, type, just a minimal. Just the minimal stuff. No packages going to install. Wait. No. We're just gonna select it. Authentication, the root password. User account, add a user, Arch, yes, confirm and access. Applications, we don't need that on Kernel, Arden, and LTS. You know what, just normal Linux kernel, the network, copy ISA configuration, yes. Additional packages, don't need that. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. God, I don't want it. Right, if you're gonna do it, just install the Linux headers. I'm gonna supposed to find Linux headers. Yes. Install this. And build essentially not this one, but base double. Right. The Simba is watching us. What's your opinion using on AI tools for coding? I said this. Actually, there was a Bible verse on that. It talks about. We actually discussed this in the Temple OS Discord server. So let me open it. Let me find it first. Right. Let me find words for that. So my opinion is that unless we are just getting too much of it, unless it's for learning, we could use any kind of tool that we want, but it doesn't affect our value of our code. So it's a learning stuff. Also, it's writing step. Why not? We are using LSPs, and people said that LSPs are, making software developers is more stupid, but not. It just eliminates the stupid people. So in here, yeah, the ICA, yeah, my opinion is about that. The open source alarm tools, I think they're like this. Yeah, all right. Where's that? Well, okay, your job has potential. All right, I'm just gonna copy and paste. Did you learn coding by yourself via help from internet or courses? I just use Linux, bro. Are you making the kernel? I'm now making the kernel. I'm writing a I'm also writing a kernel. I'm also writing some kernels, but today we are writing a kernel driver for Linux, for a microphone backlight controller. Yes. So let me also copy the IZIA. That's my opinion about that. I just close the Discord and get off my screen again. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know how I'm supposed to. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the IZIA. Let's read it. Yeah. So that's my opinion about that. I'm making a kernel for the Linux and want to get some knowledge. How are you supposed to writing a kernel for Linux, which Linux is a kernel? Are you writing a driver for Linux kernel? Like a Linux distro or something like that? Oh, you want to write your operating system. So guys, the Linux is just a kernel. So what is an operating system? If you're gonna say me that, you could check the freebsd.org. So FreeBSD is a full operating system. It has its own package manager. It has its own service managers, but Linux doesn't have that. Linux is just a kernel. So it's just the core of the operating system, and we have the GNU tool. So we are just saying actually the GNU Linux. I was supposed to say that. Let's open the ChatGPT for that again. So difference between an OS and Linux kernel. So Linux is just the kernel, but GNU Linux is a complete OS, just like the FreeBSD. It's a full OS. Yeah, let me write this again. So yeah, the kernel is just the core parts of OS. So it just manages hardware, but it does not do any user-land space. So for example, the GUI or something like that, but the Windows is an operating system, the FreeBSD or GNU Linux is an operating system, but Linux is not. So yes, so let's get back to our work. I think so, if I answered your questions. A lot of people just gone. Yeah, there you go. So we're just setting the time zone, and we could just install it, I think so. There you go. It's gonna take a while, I think so. So what are we gonna do after phase 2? Integrate the emulator with the kernel module. iDrive interface. So we're just gonna wait a little bit to install this. What should I do after installing Russians? Enable networking. Gotta be fucking kidding. Why it's not installing Arch Linux? I wish I had that. It's back there. well, still the USB development tools, the USB utils. And what's the next step? So let's see it. We could just work on that while doing this. So we're just going to readme and set up Arch. Write the kernel driver, a loadable module of that. So what is a kernel driver? So let's look at what is a Linux kernel driver first. Linux kernel drivers. The kernel docs for struct device driver. So what do we have in here? So we have a definition that device driver name, the bus type. I don't know what's the bus type. So we're just gonna go, there's no man page of that. Yeah, there you go, that sucks. Let's search it, and interface. That's not what I'm looking for. Struct bus type, yeah, there you go. We also have the dev name, the root, the bus groups. A bus is a channel between the preprocessor and more devices. Yeah, it's just type shit. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm gonna figure it out. So we have owner, module name, probe type, device ID. We have the device IDs. Struct. Yeah, we could just build it. So we have driver in it, and find device by name. Which language are you use main for dev? I'm using mainly OCaml and Holy C, which is my compiler, my programming language, and I'm working about my own programming paradigm, meta paradigm. It's called the Holy APL. It's a transductive abstractive programming language built by me. I'm working on it. So plan is writing a compiler on that. Let me open the Joplin for showing my. So there's Holy APL. This is what I'm planning. So we have a preprocessor, the Holy API source, the prechecker, lexer, parser, and the thing is, we are actually building zig.zig files. Why? Because we could use just like the LLV in backend, we are gonna use zig as backend. So let me just go into there, and I'm writing my own programming language with OCaml as compiler and zig-lang as backend. And let me show you also the composition semantics, an example. Let me show you an example on my programming language. So the type castings, yeah, this is an example of this. You can send it. How about this? Here's an example code. I should upload this stuff, I think so, but yeah. So let's go back into our code. What our virtual machine does. This virtual machine. Excellent. All right. Let's review the system. Also, we actually wrote some kernel stuff in here. So we have the Quadcast, and we actually have this stuff. So brightness store. Where is the kernel? So let's see from here. The driver in it. We should have this. We don't fucking have this. Why? Yeah, we don't have. I don't know what's that doing actually. I guess it's a function. Minimal USB gadget function to emulate HyperX Quadcast 2. Yeah. This is not what we are looking for. This is an emulator code. And I think we will need this. So, there's a lot of stuff going on actually. Yeah. So let's go back in here. What we should do is that update the system, which I don't want it. I already do this. Pacman as sudo and enable networking out of the box. Yeah, alright. Let's go. Arsenal next login arch. Alright. Sudo pacman syy. Yes. The internet is working fine. So, the essential tools. We installed base level get, vim, wget, curl, sudo, python, pip. Which, how I suppose to call paste my code to Word Manager VM. Shared folders. SSH installed. We could use SSH. Yeah, we're just gonna use SSH because I don't want to use this fucking screen. So sudo pacman as SSH, open SSH, which actually, that tool is actually developed. Well, let's connect, bro. And we make something great. Here's my stuff in here. You could contact me from here. I have my email, Matrix, or Discord. Contact. Alright. So once we installed it, just let's go back in here. Yes, sudo systemctl enable sshd, sudo systemctl start sshd. We started it, and IP-ADDR show. Oh fuck. Use Word Manager clipboard for text only. For small snippets, view display device, enable clipboard sharing. So I don't think we have. Yeah. What about details? Nope. What about snapshots? Nope. Nope. Right. Use USB pass. Alright, I'm gonna log in into my Word Manager Kimu VM from my host terminal via SSH. I installed open SSH and started SSHD. IP-ADDR show. Let's go in here. IP-ADDR show. We have inaps. Right, I think we are. We want something like this. So we have. Alright. We have 100 and down. Make sure to buy. Do we have sudo? No. Alright, we could just do it, I think so. Let's open our terminal. SSH, username. We already have a terminal. So yeah. Just open another tab in here. So SSH arch. What was our IP address? Yeah. Let's try it. Yeah, we're inside of our VM, guys. Fuck, Kimu, we don't need you. Fuck. Yeah, we don't need you. Let's go. Right, what are we gonna do now is go back. So, what should we install? Yeah, we can install this stuff. Let's install it. And still USB development tools. So I don't think we need this, but yeah. So Pacman again. So Pacman, Linux headers, QEMU, we don't need that. We need keymod. Sudo pacman as keymod for loading kernel modules. And clone our project. Test the Python emulator. These are the basics. Compiling and testing. Test QC2 via libusb. Alright. So I guess we gotta do it from here. Let's test it. Our stuff is working. So it's low. Quadcast. Alright. Do we have Python free phases? Nope. SRC emulator. Right. But we need TMX. Sudo pacman as TMX. Let's open TMX. Let's create a new one. Python free SRC emulator. Let's go back in here and ECC SRC tests test QC2, which I don't know what's the command for that. Let's search it in here and here to ECC wall. Let's go back in here. Alright, SRC tests. No such file. Oh. Alright. SRC tests. Test. QC2.c. No such file or directory. Gotta be fucking kidding with me, right? Let's go back. Test file. Copy this. Why? Why it? What the hell? Oh, we forgot to push. Yeah, did we? No. I already have it. What the fuck is going on? This one. Here. I already have the fucking test. What do you mean by we don't have? Are you sure? LS SRC. Alright, you know what? I'm getting sick of this. Sudo pacman s3. Yeah. Why we don't have? The fuck we have? I'm just gonna copy it. Try it again. Not this one, but this one. Yeah, we have now, right now. So, let's try it. And it seems like it's done. Yeah, our emulator is also working in our virtual machine. That's great. So, we have right now. What should we do? So let's go back in our chat GPT first, because I'm gonna say, what the hell is that after quad? So what it does, it's probably a real emulator. It's probably a part of emulator rather than the driver itself. Oh wait, I want to look my .com. Alright, the driver itself, but so it's probably functions like a real hardware rather than using Unix sockets. Should we use this as well? What's it? Real kernel gadget function, yeah. First we are real interfacing and USB tools. Yes, if your goals is test real. Yeah, we also have another tool right now, another phrase we gotta add. So the emulation. So before touching the kernel space, you need a user space virtual emulator. You don't have the physical hardware. Kernel fast version, yes. So, kernel gadget. We are gonna write a kernel gadget first. So let's go back and open our roadmap again. So let's update our readme.md. Yeah, of course. Requirements. Set up Arch Linux, write the kernel driver. We gotta add another phrase for writing USB gadgets later for Quadcast 2. After phrase 2, build a USB gadget. Yeah. Actually just did it. Yeah. So we did it, but so yeah. I'm just gonna also that this project provides this one. Let me go back in here. Yeah, there we go. You know what? My brain is just die, but I'm just gonna write my own actual comments. So, feet, documentation, add a new phrase for testing real, simulating. Oh, we forgot our. Let's update the project structure as well. Are we going to write gadgets inside an emulator folder? Yeah, we're just gonna supposed to do that, I think so. So we have the QC emulator and driver. Gadgets. Yeah, we also need a user space. Yeah, just update it as well. So let's update the project structure again. So user space. Yes. Gadgets. FQC do that. We're just not this one. Yeah, there we go. Now let's write comments. Changes on media MD. Right. Response docs. Yeah, alright. I could just use it. Feed, documentation, update README and project structure. That should be work, I think. So let's add README. Feed, emulator, change, folder, for separating, user space, also add fgc2.c file for emulating gadgets, real USB gadget functionality for Quadcast 2 device. I'm just gonna push it. So my brain is just that. What are you doing exactly? What is your plan? My plan is now, so we have the user space. Now we have the Python mock user space, right? It works. But since we don't have the actual device, we gotta first create a kernel module for X like a real microphone. So Soundcast 2. So we are just gonna emulate Soundcast 2. So we're just gonna mock this microphone. We need a Linux device that acts like a real microphone because we are gonna test it and we don't have the actual hardware. So we need first a device to work on it, and after that we are just gonna write the kernel module itself. So we still have something to go on. So let's go back in here. I'm just gonna show you. Yeah. Here's the structure. I'm just gonna open it and I gotta go back. So, you know what? I could just do quick. How many minutes have been passed? Yeah. Right. So what I'm gonna do is that maybe write a text. Okay, and this done. Can I do something like that? No, we're not gonna do this. Right. Just add a project structure. So let's open phonobia.com so everybody could understand what's going on in our stream. So let's go back in here and I'm just gonna get Mr. Stories, something like this. So I'm just gonna write everything from here. And yeah. Done. No. ASCII table. Why do we need ASCII tables? Yeah. It could be something like this, I think so. Let's try to add this into my stream. So Where's our OBS? Oh, gotta add an image here. Image, yes, add this one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we could add something like this, I think so. There's nobody seen here. And yeah, it's probably going to work like that, yeah. There you go. Oops. Can somebody read this? I think so. I hope you guys can read this. Right. I hope. Never mind. So I gotta go and come back in 15 minutes. Peeing. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Now you can see steps. I'll be back in 15 minutes. There we go. It's closing here. Yeah, I get back here, guys. So, where did they just went off? Yeah, so I go back. And here, maybe we could just, so we could just complete it, I think so. Let's see. Yeah, they could read it. I definitely they could read it. Yeah, there you go. Now we could continue. I hope. If everything works. Alright, let's go back. So, we also have now, what we are gonna do is that get, we already wrote it, yes. So we have the gadget function that it should work, but it needs a make file. So it has a make file. Let's take the make file first. Yeah. The f outcast.o, the shell, the pvd, and make c module. So it should be work now. So let's see that it's working or not. Let's open a terminal and tell us src emulator and gadgets. Make. What happened? Need it by. Alright, what is going on? Oh, F Quadcast. Yeah. Yeah, here's the stuff. So where's the SRC module? Alright. FQC2.0. Should be work. Yep. And we get some stuff. So struct TSP function driver has no member. Free and so and here. So which drivers are we using? Oh yeah, it's a kernel module as well, I think so. Is this a kernel module? Is this a kernel module? If it is this a module? Is this a kernel module for USB device emulation? We gotta ask it first. Yes, it's a Linux kernel, yeah. It's a gadget function module. Which I don't want to do this, but see, because, yeah, we don't need it. Can we write this via Python? I guess not. Yeah, we can. Alright. Yeah, that was good, right? So, we have some stupid stuff. Stupid errors. Can you fix it? We could actually try Cloud. Kernel API changes, yeah. Have some, yeah. Remove the free install entirely, alright. Because entirely. Yeah. Let's make it again. Alright. What the fuck? What happened? Oh my god! What the hell? Man, we did it. Yeah. We fucking built it something, but I don't know what's that. What the hell happened? Yeah. Oh wait. It works fine. So what happened? These are kernel module, object file, module specific object file, yeah, blah blah blah. Alright, we could load the module and let's see what we have. But firstly, do we need all of this stuff? Yeah, we need 5 things here. So we gotta add. Right, make file. Tree, help, grep, header. We don't have. Activity. Which one of files or the comments to repo and which one are just put into that get ignore. So yeah, we only fucking have to upload this, so gotta ignore the gadget folder. Would do something like that. Should turn on things. But this is gonna work? Yeah, it works. Fuck. So we have phrase free right now. And here. Get status. So let's write phase free for documentation of code. Get comment. First you started peeing and now your work is started. I went to pee and now I got my coffee. Yeah, I guess yeah, it works because I don't know. I went to pee. Right. So we have phase 3 completed. So we are getting closer actually to write an actual module. Write our actual module. So we have an emulator. So we just have to use the make C, I think so, and load the model. To load the module. Gosh, again. Configure gadget using config.fs. Yeah, this is the part we are gonna screw it. Because I don't really know anymore what the fuck am I doing. I'm not a pro. This is my first time of writing a Linux kernel, which I don't really like writing some stupid Unix stuff. But somebody got actually paid me for $20. Yeah, guys, I'm doing this for $20, by the way. Yeah. I'm doing this for $20. Yeah. Well, now I got my coffee. I'm screwed up. But what I could do, $20 is $20. Yeah, I have a dedication just like the Peter Griffin, I think so. So let's go back in here. And for removing, yeah. Notice this module is minimal and development. The are harmless. Well, let's write everything. Why not? Notes. Documentation is important, guys. And if you don't want to write, if you're lazy, just use AI for that. Just like I do. Because if you don't write it, you're gonna get screwed up. Nobody can understand that. So I think AI is a great tool for you writing a lot of stuff. Once you know what you should do, it's okay to use AI. Alright. So what's another thing? Docs, add phrase to documentation. Feed documentation. Add phrase to documentation. Add update. Readme for USB gadgets. For USB gadget kernel emulator. Alright. Changes. Nope. Right. What did we hear? Feed emulation. Update to Linux 6 kernel. QC by remove old bindings as dialog against feed. So that module, yeah. Oh, also I gotta add, yeah. Feed. Emulation. Add make file for gadgets emulate. That's all we need, I think. So let's push it. Let's check or didn't do it just for $20. Damn bro, that pretty cool. When are you committing the driver to an official? Yeah, I actually I'm showing here. And here, if we can, yeah. After we're gonna test it, I'm just gonna go into the kernel.org and paste it. Also, I'm gonna test from my friend, which has the real hardware, and after that we could use it. There is actually some somebody's actually at Goddard, which one is that? I don't remember. HyperX to Linux. HyperX Linux. GitHub if yeah, there is a program for that actually. Some issues on support for Quadcast 2. So I also tried it, but I just saw that there's no fucking kernel stuff for doing that, so I just got a deep dive for that. So these guys are doing some stuff, but I don't know, I don't give a fuck about that, I think so. Yeah, barely readable at this state. Yes, you are true. Let me just be a little bit more readable, I think so. I think you can read it. Yeah, barely readable at this. Let's see. Yes, you are true. Let me just be a little bit more readable, I think so. Yeah, now we could read it, guys. Why my screen looks ugly as fuck? I don't know. Well, can you just give the to-do a scratch with advice so it's not pixelated? Yeah, I did it. Can you see it now? There we go. So, let's go back into our virtual machine. Let's close it, our emulator in user space. So, git pull, and now we have some new stuff. So let's go back and src emulator gadgets and make. Yeah, now we have the kernel module. So how I suppose do oh, gotta go back and ChatGPT. Where's our chats? In here, yeah. There we go. Now, in my virtual machine, I have the kernel module. .ko. Yeah, there you go. How I'm going to use it and load it into kernel. Also, should I have to initialize a USB device with this script? So, well, I wrote some couple of strings and scripts in here for setuping. Yeah, in here. Can we use it? Alright. So let's see. Yes, the clarifier everything. Kernel module has the config effects. It's created a USB modules. Yeah, I got right. The config effects script. So, well, the kernel module, yeah, we've got a first setup gadget. Does not replace your kernel module, it just binds. Yeah, setup gadget. So, firstly load dummy USB compiler. Alright, so let's go back into our code again. Is this our code? Yes, I think now you guys can see it. So let's get back into the gadget. And let's we gotta also need a make clean, which open it in a terminal, make cd src emulator gadget and make clean. Alright, that works fine now. So we are gonna add setup gadget.sh, and let's copy our setup gadget.sh in here, because we need that. And after that, we're just gonna add feed emulation setup gadgets.sh add for binding kernel binding gadgets emulator with kernel dummy USB file to device. So let's push it. Somebody wrote something. No, that's great. So yeah, load the kernel module. So first we gotta load the kernel module. Do we have workflow? Yeah, could just actually also write gadgets installation.sh teract with later be applied on our user space daemon. We already have a daemon for that, but it works fine. So let's go back into our VM and get a pull. So we have the setup gadget. So first we gotta load kernel module. We can't. Unknown symbol and module. So what? I don't know what's that. Means that symbols use gadget functions. Alright. Alright, now it works. Not this one, but here. Check the missing symbols. Yeah, we don't need that. It's already loaded. So, load the dummy USB controller. We already did this. And run the gadget setup script. Now we can finally do this, guys. Does somebody ever written? No. That's great. What time is it? I don't care. Now, it's the time for that. And setup gadget.sh. sudo sh setup gadget. And it's created successfully to verify the device. Run. Yeah, we have it. So, let's go back in here and sudo test qc2, and we have a fucking pipe error again, which I don't know why this happens. Just reloaded it. And after we still got a fucking pipe error. But we have a pipe error. How to debug? Oh, yeah, I gotta change it. Yes. Yeah. Export as here. We're just gonna change the OBS and change this with to okay. There we go. Now we have yes. Fuck. Not yes. Done. So. Device cannot handle, hasn't implemented the control request, no impaired access. Your kernel module implements a minimal HID function but does not directly handle user space set port report. Note, once responding to control, you will need to write a user space daemon. Oh, we didn't run. Kernel module registers HID function. User space is responsible for sending and receiving reports. Use a user space daemon. Open, read ports where must respond to the expected bytes. So, implement full HR fuck. Yeah, we got a ton of stuff to do. But let's see first. So we load it. This is broken in kernel because the panzer symbols are not exported, so you don't need if you just because your virtual HID device by pairs. Forget about loading KO for now. Config FS and dummy. Why did you fucking wrote this, Dad? Focus on writing a user space daemon that handles and implements brightness reports. So why the fuck we did that? So why the fuck you suggest me to doing this? So you're saying don't use it while you're using config fs and alright. Yeah, guys, yeah. Yeah. Never mind, Yuri is in charge of doing God's work. It's great now. Not gonna lie, ChatGPT is kind of questionable. I know, I fucking know this, but yeah, we're actually testing out. We don't have to use ChatGPT for some stuff or some stuff. I'm dumb because I didn't actually fully research it, but yeah, we can do it. Never mind your reason. Fuck you. Go try the D kernel bug. I mean, without ChatGPT, we can't even do anything something like that. I don't want to waste my 1 week just reading this fucking stupid shit. Writing Linux kernel drivers. Doc. Yeah, I already read a little bit about this, but the thing is, we could already using that, but there was no functionality. So I think so. We actually wrote this is a good thing. Why? Because it's a gadget function to emulate. So it can still work. But we could also use a dummy HCD. So yeah, we could just test this. I actually tried. Give it a chat with the context one reference what you do. I already did it. I already fucking did it. It's not something so simple that everybody could use it. So we are just using ChatGPT for our helper. I'm trying to understand what am I doing. I doubt that the dummy HCD is just creating a dummy device, which actually it does this, and we have to implement a functionality into that. So for some fucking reason it's not working, and ChatGPT suggests me to do a fucking user space. I think so. It's not gonna work, guys. Let's see. So let's close it. CD emulator. CD user space. Then qc2 daemon.py. So let's try to do it. That it's gonna be work or not. I think it's not gonna be work. Alright? Are you ready, guys? Fucking 0 byte operator. Sorry. Let's run this. Python 3 qc2 daemon.py. And the device is nice. Sudo python 3 qc2 daemon.py. It opened. What it does, it open. Yeah. So let's go back in here. Tests ls. Test qc. Yeah, we also have a piper. And yeah, can't open it. I told you guys. I told you. Maybe we could just switch the cloud. It stocks while opening this. Opening HT0. I guess we need to close wall. What was our function again? F qc2 KO module first. Exactly. Yeah, I see it. Close it and verify. We have it. Can't fucking open it. Why? Right. But where I see failing out of this pi, people rewriting old writers for Linux and Rust, which is why. Yeah. Yeah, you're right a little bit. I actually do not support Linux. I do not fucking support. I don't like Unix. My Discord username is I don't like Unix desktop. But guys, I gotta get $22 for that. So we're just doing this. We need to do right now. I got stuff to do. I'm already writing my own already writing a website in OCaml, and after that I'm gonna write a compiler with OCaml. So I have stuff to do. Alright, in Python, I see the problem, because created by config.fs and open it block normal file mod. So, this blocking file device. If you set up it. Alright, it's just fucking Python. So, let's go back and bring qc2 emulator.py. Nope. Daemon.py. We gotta get. So import fcntl. And we will open HID device. Alright, you gotta be fucking kidding. That's it. So HID device with RB plus. Yep. You're not using this os.o rdvr. You see, guys? You see, writing somebody in a terminal for 2 hours in a straight just fucking flex is just boring and wastes your time. So we have ChatGPT or any LLMs as our slaves. I got mad because people are saying, "Oh, you're using ChatGPT for that." I wanna go. I wanna touch grass. I already told this before. I have stuff to do. I have a girlfriend. Have a life. Go fuck yourself, you fat asses. accepts a spring mode. Kidding. Alright, what I'm gonna do is that. Make this solution this side. Do you give some props to your driver can be used to set as cut and what Rust can be built as top reference at list, which means it's not all for nothing. Yeah, I think so. It's not. It's for $20, and people actually can use it because a lot of people says it. But are they? Do you say that? Do you say they switched C to Rust in all drivers? If it is it, we could just turn our C code into the Rust with a simple steps. I'm not gonna rewrite by myself, of course. But first we gotta deal with that how we can do it. So Python. Yeah, we cannot fucking open it. It's not fucking working. I'm gonna think about this. I'm just gonna ask the cloud for what's happening. So what do we have? The project structure. Let's go back. The whole readme in here. So we also have the QC2 daemon user space daemon for dummy xcd plus config fs. So I tried to do it our own gadget planning, but I realized I could just use config fs and do not deal with it config fs plus 28cd. So when I started code user space daemon for QC2 and Python can't really open device, it stops on it. So which solution is the best? Config fs plus dummy 8cd or fqc2.c driver. I mean, not really all, but there's a massive driver. Yeah, I know. You've been to try to do that. You've been to actually try to use Rust, and it just fucked up. I think that Rust is not ready for that. I know. Yeah, the Rust is okay, but no, I think not. I wish they could just switch to Ziglang, but I don't really care. I'm gonna do my own kernel and my own operating system. I'm sorry, I don't want. I want to write my own kernel and my own compiler. So I do not fucking care. I just started to talk like a British for some reason when I got angry, which I'm at Turkish, which I'm not supposed to talk like that, but what I could do with that. Right. So let's go it. Oh my god. Fuck. don't have more AI for that. So let's go back to ChatGPT for that. It's expected to be, device doesn't support except report. Fast to iterate, works with real Quadcast 2, full control over USB transactions, no risk of crashing kernel, easy to debug. Right, we could just the custom kernel driver we also gotta need if you want to push changes into the real hardware. Yeah, we gotta fucking do it, guys. I told you. So, we are writing a real kernel driver for Quadcast 2. So we cannot. So we are. But since I don't have the real hardware by myself, I wrote a custom kernel driver for X, like a real Quadcast 2 device. So I can test my kernel driver on that. Yeah, there you go. It's your fake implemented as a kernel module. So safe in the fast iteration. Unit testing a kernel driver. So phase 1, Python daemon and dummy kernel driver. So now I think we could walk that gadget kernel driver for testing, because I already did some tests with Python daemon, which talks at opening for device with dummy HCD, which I don't know the reason, and our user space test command is spelling via HyperX. Oh fuck, it takes a lot. Yeah, I don't know what I should do. There is a lot of time. There's 2 hours of stream, and I think today it's gonna be something like this. I think so. I'm gonna fix this, and I'll be back. I'll be back after fixing this. That's my user space daemon code, which talks. What is talks? Try to open and read the loop. My probe. Yeah. We already did it, but let's try it again. Sudo probe. Yeah. Alright. You hit. We don't have it. Setup gadget, scriptures. Going to dominate city. Right. So first we gotta do it. Basic descriptors, the ID product, the BCD, USB, and HyperX, Quadcast. We actually did it on. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna work on that. So my brain just died, guys. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I'm gonna work more on that, but I think I'm just gonna get my brain a little bit relaxed, and after that I'm gonna be working on more. Maybe I could just create a develop a video, not a live stream. I'm gonna get back after what I should do. I don't want to deal with a daemon. I'll write on this stuff because it's a real function. So we don't need actually the user space anymore. We forget this. We gotta work on the kernel so we have config.fs. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be working on it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video a lot. Why don't like Unix? My mind elaborating further. You could check my videos on that. I don't like Unix desktop. Why? So you could watch this.
I just small errors.
So it's not centralized. We have a ton of shitty stuff doing by a little small software rather than just working on a bigger project just like the FreeBSD does. And I just don't like Unix. I think that using your computer should be easy for everybody. I'm a derived. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. You guys gonna see. I'm actually a big fan of the Chair Davis, and I'm gonna be working on my non-Unix-like operating system and open source in my custom programming language called Holy Abstractive Programming Language, Holy APL, or maybe TAPL, the Transductive Abstractive Programming Language, as you might see on the Joplin. There's the Joplin. So yeah, there was, well, where's that? There was a transductive, yeah, transduce. We're just gonna use it. So alright, thank you for watching this stream. I'm gonna go and relax a bit.